Hello, my friends. Today is March the 11th, and this is a reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a four-card pull for the year to follow. It's a general energy card, something that might sustain or something that might interrupt as a reflection, and then there's a particular challenge you might face, and then a particular action you might take to stay in balance, and then a synopsis or understanding card. This is the general energy card of the year. It is the river. And when the river comes up, I always get the feeling you're supposed to jump into the river this year. And what does the river mean? Well, the river means you can't wait on the sidelines. You can't be a watcher. You can't try to plan and push the river to where it wants to go. The river's much bigger than you are. The river's much more about life and change and growth and healing and letting things flow and learning how to surrender and learning how to let water heal you and learning how to let waters change you and learning how to I think just really surrender primarily. You can't control the river. The river needs you to jump into it, and you're going to be changed forever. Your life is going to be changed. You can't enter the river and come out of the river in the same place. You don't enter the river and come out of the river in the same way, feeling like the same person, being the same person with the same understandings. The river will take hard edges and soften them, and sometimes that takes a lot of time. Sometimes that doesn't take a lot of time, but the river will soften hard edges and smooth rough surfaces and take you down to where you need to go. And so there's not a lot of choice. I think a lot of the times when, sure, there's always choice. You can always try to back away from the river and just watch it and not be part of it and not be hesitant about jumping into things. But the river, I think, demands that you step into me and go with my flow, and I'm going to take you where you need to go. So this is your particular challenge, the Tower. Towers are, one of the most challenging cards I think in the deck of understanding. The tower is that big moment in time when everything seems to fall apart. Something fundamental crashes in your psyche, in your possibly your physical world, and says, this cannot go on as it has been going on. The foundations or a foundation is rotten and no longer supports you, no longer sustains you, no longer holds you up to the belief system primarily that you have invested in probably all your life, but it no longer works for you. Something dramatic has shifted in your understanding. And maybe it's just that you feel really lost and confused and you don't know where to go, and your tower just has a sense of wanting to fall apart. So this is your challenge, to accept that the things that are in front of you no longer serve you, that some kind of belief system no longer serves you, that some kind of organization or family or unit or structure no longer is supporting you, including maybe even your own body. uh, and so these are the moments in time when major change is calling. And with the tower card, there's always a river or water beside it. And what does that say? Well, when we fall from our tower, when our tower collapses, when we crash, when we fall down to the earth, and we lay there naked and broken, and we look at what we have left behind or are leaving behind, and the tower is in shambles and smoking, there's water beside us. And what does water mean? Water means that we can jump into the river, we can jump into the water, we can do the cleansing work we need to cleanse in order for us to go forward. And we can go across that river, we can grieve, we can cry, we can heal, we can go to a new shore, we can go to a new place and start again and become again and honor again. All your principles aren't lost. All your foundations aren't lost. It's a reordering. It's a restructuring. It's a witnessing of oneself, and it's a establishment of one's foundations that do work, of the things that do work. And so what is the action to take you can't hide. You can't stay away from the river, and you can't stop this change that's happening, and you have to go forward. You have to go forward. So pick up your pieces. Unfortunately, because this is about evolution and change and growth periods that are demanded of you. Maybe this is a karmic thing you never saw coming. Maybe this is something you might have seen coming, but you've been avoiding. Maybe it's something that you knew was going to happen and you just didn't want to face it. You didn't want to jump into the river of loss and change. But it's here. It's here this year. It's demanding that you become Jaguar. It's become demanding that you use the actions of Jaguar. And what do I get actions of Jaguar? I think, boy, I get a sense of, awareness, of intuition. I get a sense of awareness, of watchfulness, uh, a sense of awareness that's heightened. I get a sense of also impeccability and authority and integrity. And I think, cats are very integrity beings. They only kill what they need to eat. They don't waste their energy. They don't go running around just, unless they're cubs, for play. They guard their energy. They know they need to protect their energy in order to run and get the food that they need and keep themselves safe and make their ends meet and feed their families. So uh, they're really aware of how they use their energy. You can be aware of how you use your energy. You can be aware of what you put your energy to. You can hold the integrities that have brought you along so far. Those wise parts of yourself that know how to heal, that know how to give and receive, that know how to share, that know often you can't do this alone, and that you need help, that know that you have to surrender to what is there, and if it's hard you shake it off, and if it's easy you still conserve, and you still move forward, and you still roar your loudest when you need to roar, and you still hold your power and be watchful when you need to be aware and be watchful, and you are I think impeccable. I think on that a lot of levels. This is about still holding the power that you have for awareness and cognizance and liberation. And liberation is really what I think this is all about. You can you can march forward. You can go forward with the awareness, the high intuition of Jaguar, the high understanding, watchfulness of powerful eyes that see, but ears that hear, and a sense that feels, and a part that can see in the dark, and that can understand your shadows better, and can understand your pain better, and can understand life better. And you need that part of yourself. And maybe I think you've been avoiding your intuition for a long time, and avoiding your witness part for a long time, and just going along with your own little pain. But this is a time of change. This is the outcome card. This is a time of planting new seeds. Planting new seeds of awareness, planting new seeds of direction, planting new seeds of beingness, and nurturing a new egg, nurturing a new sense of yourself. So maybe you're stopping everything and you're starting something completely new. Maybe you're stopping one major significant part of your life and you're starting something new. Maybe you've just hit an idea. The tower can be just an idea that floods in and goes, "Oh, I get it. I get it now, but I have to change everything. Oh, I get it now, but I have to change everything." Maybe this is just a consciousness that snaps in and says, you don't have to lose all your foundational stuff. You don't have to let things break down in front of you. More than likely, with the Tower card, that is often something has to collapse. Something physical has to collapse before you understand it in your own body and in your own soul and in your own consciousness. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that, and it can be a provocation of a moment that brings you to a state of high awareness and high change and high connection to the divinity within you. And that's ultimately what this is, surrendering to the divinity within you that trusts and allows and goes forward uh, with a sense of grace and a sense of talent and a sense of purpose and a sense of always surrender. Om Takwiasan.